everyone, it's Sharana from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing American Horror Story Red Tide, Season 10, Episode 1, Cape Fear. You guys, we are at the double feature. We're at Season 10 of American Horror Story. I am back doing weekly reviews. I don't know how this is going to work because I didn't realize because I have Hulu Live TV that I have to wait until 3 a.m. for the new episode. So just check back. I'll be better at this. I'll be getting episodes out to you on Thursday mornings, just so you guys know when to look for them. But let's go ahead and get into this episode because I'm having some good feelings about Season 10 of American Horror Story. American Horror Stories didn't do nothing for my spirit. It just made my head hurt. But I feel like American Horror Story Season 10, I feel like it has some promise. So the episode opens up where we are introduced to our family of the season. So we have a family who is basically escaping in order to... The husband wants to write. He's basically a writer. He's working on a pilot for the studio. The studio had a lot of edits. And so essentially he is going to this town to get away from the noisiness of the New York City scene. And he just wants peace and quiet so he can get his writing done. And so hopefully he could land this pilot so it can be green lit. So while they're on their road trip though, the little girl, Alma creeps me out, okay? Because I don't know what little kid is just sitting here looking out the window, counting like how many dead animals that they see. But that's not what I was doing on the family road trips, okay? I was taking a nap, you know? I might count the mile markers or something like that. But I was like, sis, I was never counting the roadkill. And then when she told her parents, they just looking like, did this bitch just say that she was counting the roadkill? But I guess, you know, you see the love that you have for your child, so you don't understand that something's wrong when she's counting roadkill. So they disregard it. But then she gets to number 10. We see that there is a dead deer in the middle of the road that they almost hit. When they go outside, please note that Alma says she wanted to go see it. See, I would have been like, ma'am, this is not okay. It's not okay. Who am I talking to? Alma's not here with me. But if I was there, I would have been having a conversation like, Alma, this is not normal behavior. This is not what kids, this is just not okay. Find a new hobby, Alma. Sorry, I just had to have that moment for just real quick because it's just not sitting right in my spirit how this kid is acting. But we see that when Harry goes to check it out, which I don't know why he was checking it out anyway. It's not your business. Baby, the deer dead unless you call in animal control or somebody to come pick this up off the highway. What was the purpose of you getting out the car? And then when you saw that someone basically bit into the deer's neck, that's when I would have turned around. I'd have been like, oh, hell no. It's some loose animals going around. This deer missing his damn neck. What else is going on in this town? That was the Lord trying to send you a sign and tell you to turn your raggedy behind around. But now what are you? You a bloodsucker now because you didn't want to take the signs, okay? You should have took the signs from Alma counting roadkill that you need to quit this pilot and go spend time with your daughter. That's beside the point, you guys. I'm sorry. It's just, I just feel like there's some signs that this family is missing. So they end up going into the town, and so they're staying at this house. Essentially, Doris, who is Harry's wife, she used to be a teacher. She quit. Now she's an Instagram interior designer. She won this Instagram contest, and essentially in exchange for the free room and board, they basically want her to kind of redecorate, give some new ideas to spruce up the Browns' house. So when the girl comes to the front, she was like, oh, this house look haunted. And I was like, baby, because I was looking at the house across the street. I said, y'all don't want to go see across the street because that one look nicer. What is this mess? But I guess she was there to redecorate. But the baby tried to tell them to, the creepy baby, she tried to say, hey, this something not right in my spirit with this house, y'all, but you going to have us here anyway. What I will say is when Harry goes to the grocery store, I'm happy for all of my faves who are back in this season because I missed me some Sarah Paulson. I missed me some, was Sarah Paulson? Maybe she was in 1984. I can't think off the top of my head, but I know Evan Peters wasn't there. Or was he? You know what? I think they were missing, and I felt it. It was a hole in my heart from the previous season, and now they're back again. But baby, why they got Sarah Paulson look like? Why they got Karen looking like that? And why they named her Karen, knowing everything going on with people named Karen? They must be trying to reclaim Karen back. I was like, what happened to you, honey? And then she saw Harry, she started cursing Harry out. I said, baby, you don't even know him. You telling him, she was like, don't stay here. Get out of here. I was like, but baby, you shouldn't be screaming like that. You got TB. You shouldn't be screaming like that. You need to take care of yourself. I don't know what was going on, but I'm here for this version of Sarah Paulson. I can't wait for them to go into character. You know how they normally do backstories on all the characters of who they were before, how we know them to be now, how they fit into the overall arc of the story. I can't wait for that little backstory that we get on Karen, because I feel like I'm gonna have a good time watching her downfall. I'm not happy that she has TB or anything like that. I hope you get better, Karen. You seem like a good person. You just went down a bad road. But we do get an over theme of, we get this undertone of the opioid crisis. And a lot of people, this town, the opioid crisis has taken over the town. There's a lot of people addicted to drugs. And basically, I guess we're going to continue to talk about that as we go deeper into the season. But we see that Harry is actually struggling from writer's block. He's having a hard time trying to do these edits that the studio has for him. And so this is why he's trying to get away. But his daughter started playing the violin. I said, now, baby, now you know your daddy was sitting up here trying to write, and you read across. You didn't even try to go upstairs. You didn't try to close the door. You didn't try to just go outside in the backyard by the beach. You gonna be right there, like 6 feet away from your daddy playing the violin, and you see this man trying to work. But she sounded all right, but I was just like, you knew better. And I thought it was a really good save on how Harry was like, well, I just get so distracted by how talented you are and how I'm so proud to be your father. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I was like, oh, you know, I love seeing them father-daughter relationships, y'all. So we see that Doris ends up taking Alma out to go for a walk. And they're walking by this graveyard. And then I see this Jared Leto wannabe, because at first I was like, dang, did they get Jared Leto? They got Jared Leto for American Horror Story? And then I was like, nah, they ain't get no Jared Leto. So for the sake of this season, I'm going to just say Jared Leto wannabes. So he started doing, like, just doing all this weird stuff. And I said, nah, y'all, start running. I was like, thank goodness they started running. The man started chasing them. I was just like, this was another sign. Y'all should have just packed up. Y'all should have packed up and went home. But y'all didn't want to listen. You didn't want to pay attention to the signs. So essentially, they end up calling a police officer who was played by Adina Porter. I was like, hey, girl, nice to see you too. I feel like it was a whole family reunion because it's been so long since the last season and people was missing from the previous season. I just felt like in the middle, I was like, at the family reunion. I don't think that's how the song go, but it's okay. Y'all know what I meant. But we see her. She coming. She is the sheriff of the town. She trash, okay? She trash. She didn't even care. She just all nuts. And I'm like, oh, this man with crazy teeth was chasing you. Oh, girl, it's just a drug addict. I said, ma'am, but it's drug addicts? Like, you just said that so nonchalantly. Like, I should be okay that there's drug addicts in this town. But what got me was when Harry was like, hey, but what about the Trudeau murders, the family of 5 that got murdered in their house? And I said, pause, wait a minute. So you did research on the town that you was going to. You saw that, hey, there's a murder. They said animalistic murder. I saw animalistic in the head. Animalistic, that's just like, that's wild, that's crazy, that's just, I was like, so you saw that and you still booked your family. Your wife is pregnant, your daughter. You booked to still go there after you read that people got murdered in they sleep in their bed while on vacation. You still, honestly, if I was Doris, I would have been like, square up right now, because we're going to have to fight this out, because you didn't brought me down here. First of all, I got my daughter in the backseat talking about all this roadkill, and then you knew that 5 people got murdered before we had even packed our bags, before we said, yes, we would come, and then you still decided to bring us down here. You trash. And I would have had to fight him right then on spot. I don't care if I was pregnant. So the cop, she just leave because she trash. She don't care. She said, hey, I came down here because I wanted peace, okay? And you're not giving me the peace that I need. So I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to tell you not to worry about it. And I'm going to go on about my day, all right? So we see that, you know, in order to get his wife, you know, ease her, you know, just worries about everything that happened to them. He's like, hey, let's go on a date, you know, let's reconnect. But I was like, Alma had the right questions, okay? She was like, so we only been here how long? And you got this woman coming to watch me. Did you ask for references? Did you do a background check? And I said, Alma's asking all the right. You just gonna let random people come watch your kid? Like, where they do that at? And especially when someone just tried to chase you and your daughter and you gonna bring a stranger. Okay. Whatever happens to them, they deserve it, okay? So we see that Doris ends up getting sick. She basically tells him like, hey, boo, I'm going to sit it out, but go ahead, go get a drink, enjoy yourself. And then we're introduced to Macaulay Culkin's character, Mickey, who basically was like, hey, you look like an angry top. And I said, sir, why does he have to be angry, though? Why he got to be angry, baby? But he was basically like, you know what's good? And he was like, I'm sorry, I have a wife. He was like, all my clients got wives. And I was just like, you know what, Mickey? I'm not doing this with you today, all right? I'm not doing this with you. So basically, he walks away from him. He just like, I can't do this. He's like, can I get my table? Because y'all see all this mess I'm dealing with right now. And then we are blessed with, Evan Peters, Francis Conroy, who played Austin and Sarah. And they are singing, what is that song? It's Island of Strings. I think I wrote it down. It was the Kenny Rogers and the Dolly Parton song. I think it's called Islands. Yeah, Islands in the Strings. But then I was thinking like, ghetto superstar. That is what you are. That had like nothing to do with it, but like that's the song that I was singing, even though I heard what they were singing. But that has nothing to do with it. I just wanted to invite you into the thought process of things that go through my mind while I'm watching American Horror Story. I started singing Ghetto Superstar. So their whole karaoke was sending me, but he ends up finding out that they're like famous writers. He has like Tony Awards. She does these like great romance novels. And so basically they're like, hey, we come out here for a couple of months in November and we write and we make all this money. And he was just like, oh my goodness, like, what do you do to cure writer's block? And they were just like, they were just, shooting the ish with them. Then Karen Crazy behind come in and start causing a ruckus. I said, damn girl, you just go into every single place in the town and just curse everybody out. She looking at Harry like, I thought I told your ass to go ahead and go home. And I was just like, all this animosity. But now we know that she was just trying to save him. It was just the way that she went about it. It was her delivery of it all that we had an issue with. So we end up seeing later that, when he ends up going home, he sees the dude from the graveyard, because the dude done broke into the house trying to get to him. And then he fights him off, and then he like basically kills him with the coat rack. He kills him with a coat rack. And so then they call the police, and then she was like, oh, you're gonna have to come to the station tomorrow. And I was like, tomorrow? It's a whole dead body in here. You gonna wait till tomorrow? She was like, well, it should be quiet the rest of the night. I said, y'all need to fire her. Can we get an off-cycle election to replace her? I said, ma'am, now you know you trash as a cop. I can't even deal with it. So we get a little peek into the vampire aspect of it all, as we see Mickey is in bed with Sarah. He was like, hey, you trying to smash or what? Because it's going to be $50. And I got something to do today. Like, I ain't got time to be with you all night. And basically she's like, no, let me get a taste. And I was like, hold up, is she talking about like that taste, or what taste she's talking about? And then we see that he, cuts himself, and then she started sucking his blood. I was like, oh, that taste. My mind totally went in a different direction. I don't know why. That maybe it's just the devil just trying to get to me. But we see that Sarah ends up calling Karen, and she says, hey, you have 3 hours. And she was like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, girl, you don't want to do what? Like, what's happening? And then she hands her a bag, and I was like, hold up, I hear a baby crying. Where the baby crying at? I said, oh, snap, the baby in the bag. Girl, you giving this woman babies just to supply your, like, you just giving babies for drugs. I feel like it should have been more drugs, because you giving a whole baby. Maybe that's just me, but I was just like, so we just stealing babies. Like, we really stealing babies. Okay, we stealing babies. I guess we going back to was that Coven days when they were stealing babies? It was one season they were stealing babies to do something, but that's besides the point. So we see that Austin ends up calling Harry to come to his house to help him cure his writer block, and he basically offers him a pill. Harry's like, hell no, I don't know what's in that pill. Y'all ain't even got no damn name for that pill. So how you want me to take a drug that ain't even got no name? I can't even research on WebMD to let the computer tell me that I'm about to kill myself, because all the side effects is basically you gonna die. And he was like, hell to the no. And so he left, and he was like, don't worry, you gonna be back. And so we see that his wife and them, they're like, hey, let's go. Like, we got a dead body in the house the night before. Like, it's just too much. We done been chased by Jared Leto wannabes. It's just too much happening. We gotta get out of this town. We're gonna go back to New York City. Like, we can go to New York City for all of this, and we can see the real Jared Leto probably walking around somewhere. So this is too much. We want to go home. But then he gets a call from his agent Ursula, and she basically says, like, hold on, homie. No, you got work to do, boo-boo. You need to get focused, because after this, it ain't no more shots for you. And so essentially, he ends up taking the pill. He cracks under pressure. He takes the pill, and then the episode goes off. And I was like, wow, so we really got vampires. We got vampires. We got Jared Leto wannabes. We got a horrible sheriff in town. It's a lot happening, but I'm here for it. I'm just here for it for the cast. The whole Islands in the Streams, aka Ghetto Superstar, I was really happy. That was probably one of my favorite moments of the entire show, just because I just missed them so much. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this double feature. I'm excited to have some vampires. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts so far. Like, I'm excited that Finn and Lily are the two main characters of this. I just can't wait to see what they cook up for us. But we know we could only enjoy the first half of the season, because we know either the second half is going to take a downhill turn for the worse, or it could get better. But we know never to get our hopes up. So I'm just going to enjoy this first episode and mind my business. And those are just pretty much, that's my recap of the episode. We on a little road trip. I think the episode was called Cape Fear, but still, I just don't call it road trip, because I just keep thinking of the roadkill and how much Alma is just so weird. But that's the story for a different day. So yeah, I'm liking American Horror Story. I think this is a pretty cool first episode to get me excited to see what the hell these pills are about to do. But I'm excited. I can't wait to find out. So those are my thoughts on American Horror Story. Okay, season 10, American Horror Story, Red Tide, season 10, episode 1, Cape Fear. Those are my thoughts. That's my recap for the episode, you guys. I will be back every single Thursday recapping the episodes for American Horror Story, now that I know that I cannot watch in real time because Hulu just being disrespectful to me. So those are my thoughts on episode 1. As always, my name is Sharonda from Parawaits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.